This episode is brought to you by MEXC Crypto Trading Platform. With the wild swings we're experiencing in these crypto markets, why not take advantage of the wide range of cryptos to actually trade on MEXC? Find your next moonshot and never miss another crypto gem again. And use the link below and I'll airdrop you $25 worth of Bitcoin. Visit MEXC.com for more information. Link in the description below.
This my two Satoshis, who need 2 cents when they can get double from stacking Toshis, yeah.
Welcome to my two Satoshis with Default, coming to you once again with another market analysis video. This week we're going to be looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Dominance, Tron, S&P, the dollar, and we're going to end with actually the oil markets. Another week, just more price action with BTC for the last about 4 weeks. We've really just been consolidating sideways. It's going into the lower time frames. Let's go into the 4 hour. What it seems like is there's two views I have on the price action right now. Is either, if we use the wicks and use all the, if we use the wicks, we basically have a rising wedge that we last night actually broke bearishly. Right now, trying to fight to get back into that pattern. If you don't use the wicks, if you use the line chart, something I went over last video, we're just really just going sideways in this channel. I think this is more the accurate view. You can see every time we pivot off this trend line, we have seen positive price action. Every time we have hit this resistance, we have seen a lower negative price action. I think what's key is right now is to get and maintain prices above this weekly resistance around 31,750. You tested it last week and you just tested it again, rejected it. If we get back up to the zone and test it again, the more times we test the area as either resistance support, the more times test it, the more likelihood that it will break. If you do break it, the next real resistance on the weekly is around 38K. And I think it's a possibility that you do see those price targets if you can get and maintain prices above this critical resistance area right now. I'm not seeing much that is, favoring that positive price action. Looking at, your daily time scale, looking at your indicators, looking at like the MACD, you are developing hidden bearish divergence until you get above. I believe it's the 39,500 area. You will still be developing these hidden bearish divergence on the MACD and on the RSI. So that's something to be aware of. But I'm not believing any rally until we get above this resistance, maintain prices above this resistance. And then there's more likelihood that you could be seeing that 38K area. As you can see also on the daily since November, the November high, I got this channel that has respected a certain pivot point that formed this channel. So we could be, this is the downtrend that we're in longer term for the last about 6 or 7 months now. So it's about actually 8 months now. So this is until we break up out of this channel. I'm just not bullish. We could break this consolidation zone, get up to 38K, or get up to the 36, 35 area, depending on when we hit the top of this trend line of the channel, and roll right back over down to lower lows. So this is really what I'm seeing right now for BTC, short term and more longer term. This 31,750 area is critical. Get back above. You don't get back above it soon, you're going to be seeing lower prices. I'm really neutral on the price right now, just seeing how things are going to play out. And another asset that I'm watching right now to see how it plays out is Ethereum. Right now, if you look at the lower time frames, we're on the looking at the 4 hour, it is developing a descending triangle until we get above around 1950, $1,950. I'm not bullish on this asset. What is promising right now is we're getting like what is called a partial decline. Is when you're in a pattern and you don't hit the bottom of the bottom trend line of the pattern. That typically is bullish if you get back to the top of that trend line of that pattern. I think it's 70% of the time it gets back to the top of that pattern, it breaks out bullishly. So that's actually a positive development that is happening right now. I don't see anything like on Ethereum, with your indicators on your longer term time frames on like the daily. Like you don't have hidden bearish divergence or bullish divergence or anything that's indicating right now. With Ethereum, it's really just following BTC, simply because the ETH BTC pair, the last few videos I've been tracking this. Right now, you broke out of this consolidation that was in for over a year, bearishly. You started to get some follow through to the downside, but I was looking at the 4-hour, and you were actually starting to get some bullish divergence. Did nothing but make another lower high rolled over. But right now, if you look on the MACD, you are starting to develop triple MACD bullish divergence on a BTC pair on a 4-hour, and also triple RSI bullish divergence on the 4-hour. So you could be seeing some flows back into alts, because Ethereum is the biggest alt, and when Ethereum tends to move positively, most of the alts tend to move positively. So you are getting that third lower low, but showing that seller exhaustion, that is, could be a positive development happening. It gives me more optimistic that we will see positive price action for crypto in the crypto space, especially with alts. And another reason why I have this sentiment is simply looking at Bitcoin dominance. I had this rising wedge. I was, updating people on Twitter about this development. We actually, when I was, updating, we were actually breaking down from the rising wedge. We actually broke back in, falsely broke out, about to retest this area either as resistance or another breakout. I think we will see that as resistance, simply because looking at the daily on Bitcoin dominance, I know it's not a traditional asset. Like you can't trade this asset, but if you use traditional technical analysis, you are getting that bearish divergence on the Bitcoin dominance on your MACD. And so with that development, and you're starting to see the bullish divergence on lower time frames for Ethereum, you could see it all rally. I'm not saying like, oh, we're going to go to all-time highs or anything like that, but you could be seeing, a lot of alts have lost 50-60% over the last few weeks. You could get a rally where they rally like 20-25% to the upside, simply because they're just just because there's so much selling pressure, and you just you're getting a dead cat bounce or a relief rally. You are getting some bearish divergence on the RSI as well, on the Bitcoin dominance RSI. So this is something I've been watching, so why I'm a little bit more optimistic that we will see positive price action, not just with BTC, but with alts as well. And one alts I've been watching for a while. I haven't been trading, just been watching, simply because of what has been developing with the price action has been Tron. Tron has been the only alt that hasn't lost tremendous value throughout all this selling. This asset has been maintaining, its value. And so it's been consolidating for over a year now, since, really since April of 2021. It has been making lower highs, about the same lows or lower lows. So that's, not as bullish, but you are consolidating right now. And if you can somehow break out of this, if you could break up around like 0.093 cents, you could be seeing a price appreciate very tremendously. That's the target. Seems crazy, but that's the measure move of this consolidation. If you break out of this pattern, Tron on the daily, you look at the daily time scale, we continuously, even this, you made a low, you're starting to make consecutive higher lows. And it's just, this is accumulation. When you see this type of price action, and the fact that the prices, it has been accumulating since January, while the rest of the market has been losing. Like coins like Solana have lost like 85%, ADA, or so many coins have lost so much tremendous value. And this coin, this whole time, has been accumulating. That's very, very positive, something I've been watching. I was skeptical of the price, but you can't deny that this is some type of accumulation right now. So this is one of the altcoins that I'm really keeping my eye on, seeing if we can get some positive price action with BTC, and if we can, keeping my eye on Tron to see if we can get some type of real breakout And this could be a tremendous play depending on, if the market conditions allow it. Another reason why right now that I'm not just like extremely bearish, like short to midterm on a crypto market, is constantly gotta watch the dollar. Did break out of this accumulation, of this 5-year accumulation, broke back into that accumulation zone, that consolidation zone, sorry, but you broke back into that consolidation. Right now, if you go to your lower time frames, is which I've been looking at the dollar, you are developing a rising wedge on the dollar. So that's not positive if we do break down, because that will take you deeper within consolidation, and this whole bullish move that we had here on a monthly would just be a fake out. If we can't get above this trend line and maintain prices above it and start making higher highs, it will just be just be a fake out. It's something to watch for. This is a monthly time frame to see if we can get either break above it. If we break above it, your risk on assets are going to be selling. If we break back into this pattern, it's very positive for crypto and for the S&P, which we're going to next. Last time I updated, pointed out that we were in this channel, we broke out of it bullishly. We held support, and I was mentioning how this 4165 area would be resistance, and we are just right now just consolidating right there at resistance, which could be a positive development. The longer and the more times we test this resistance, the more likelihood we could be breaking above it. So, I really think it's all dependent on what the dollar does. I believe the Fed, if they're not meeting this week to talk about, interest rates and what they're going to do at rates, I believe it's most definitely next week. This is just, right now you're getting some positive development in the price action. You're getting some accumulation after impulse up. It's typically bullish. And so you could be seeing a larger retrace instead of just, if you could break above this resistance, you could be seeing a larger retrace. Just using this last peak as for your fibs, you could be seeing maybe the 618. You still haven't made the 50%, so that would be your next fib around the 42.23 area. Maybe you see the 618, maybe in the 76. But it's all going to be contingent on if that dollar is strong or weak. But looking at your daily right now, you don't have any I don't see anything on the daily or even on the 4-hour that would have me too concerned right now. You did have that triple bullish divergence, which Ethereum BTC is actually kind of somewhat looking like as well, and you did have it RSI. But you got to break the zone. You got to break it soon, or you're going to be seeing lower prices. And if you break this support, you're going to be testing this next major support. Before I get out of here, I wanted to just look at what's going on with oil right now, because this is probably the most concerning chart out here, because this is really going to dictate going to dictate everything as from a price point for your goods and services, and negatively if this price keeps appreciating, which it looks like it's going to, simply because we were in this consolidation zone. You could see that we were constantly kind of with Tron, constantly making higher lows, higher highs. And you broke out of this consolidation, broke it bullishly. It's a 25% move to the upside to take you towards, I believe, your all-time highs. I believe the all-time high is around 147. This gets you like to 144. So it gets you close to, it's 148. It gets you close to this all-time high. So there is no reason why I don't see why oil would get there. It's more of a fundamental thing than a technical thing. Your technicals are showing you, the positive developments that are starting to happen, but it's really a supply issue with the whole war with Russia. So if you're seeing higher oil prices, it's really going to have a negative effect in the future for demand and the broader economy. This is something, that I constantly are watching, whether it's the dollar, S&P, and oil, and also interest rates that I believe are back over 3%. This is definitely a development where we could be having higher prices for goods, yet your economy is doing terribly. But that's just what I'm seeing right now, and with the technicals, with the crypto market, S&P, oil, the dollar, a little bit more optimistic that we could see a rally if we can get above that critical 31,750 area on BTC. But it's just the wait and see thing. You got to be patient. It's been a month of just really this foreign price action. But that's what I'm seeing within these markets. And, until next time, stay safe out there and peace.